Hey there everyone, welcome to Violet's Dream Tarot. So today we're going to be doing a career reading, and quite a few people have been asking for a career reading over the past few weeks, maybe even the past couple of months. And so I don't want to set a particular question for this reading. You guys know that I like to do readings where I just am open to any messages that come through. So I'm not setting in a particular question like, should you change career or will you get that promotion or whatever. I do have specific question career readings in my careers playlist on the playlist page of the channel, but I wanted this to be more of an open reading so anyone could come to it and get the answers or the messages that they need to hear. Now, as you can probably hear, I am ill. Unfortunately, I've had sort of come down with quite a bad cold over the past couple of days, so I was debating whether to even make this video because I'll probably be coughing and sniffing and sneezing throughout it, but I really wanted to prioritize making this reading for you, so there might be some lighting changes throughout the reading because I might have to take some breaks, like some long breaks in between the piles so that I don't overwhelm myself because I am feeling quite unwell, but I apologize for that. I really just wanted to get this reading done for you guys. So, with that being said, we'll take a look at the piles in a moment, but I want to say a big thank you to all of my lovely subscribers and to all of my lovely patrons as well, including Alexandra, Kelly, Joan, Mia, Nicole, Cara, Alison, and Lena. Thank you so much to all of you for the love and the support that you show to me, to the channel, and to my work. There are some new features on Patreon now, so I do encourage checking that out, considering becoming a patron if you're interested in learning more about astrology. I'm kind of running a monthly, well, several times a month detailed post on astrology course on Patreon right now, so I'm kind of posting detailed posts on certain astrological topics, and then what we're doing is we're taking a closer look at particular patrons' birth charts by doing detailed posts on how that topic manifests in their birth chart. So there's kind of like a teaching post, if you like, and then like a consolidation or analysis post. So definitely check that out if you're interested. I'm really enjoying doing it so far. Let's take a look at the piles. I've used the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit Oracle on each of the piles. So we've got Lizard on pile 1, and this is the Everyday Witch Tarot that we're using. I've just realised actually that they're all different elements that have come through. So Lizard is fire. Then on pile 2 we have Bear, which is earth element, and we have the Circle of Life Tarot. And on pile 3 we have Hawk with Tarot in Wonderland, and that's an air element card. So it's quite interesting that they're all different elements. Use your intuition here. Choose the pile that you're feeling most drawn towards, not your favourite animal or your favourite deck, but the one that you feel drawn towards with your intuition, that you maybe can't stop looking at, or that you get maybe some tingles or a warm feeling when you look at it, because that will give you the most accurate reading. And at the end of the day, that is what we are here to do. So take your time. As I said, choose with your intuition, and when you guys are ready, I will start with pile number 1. Hey there, Group 1, welcome to your reading. If you chose Lizard and the Everyday Witch Tarot, we're going to get messages about your career. As I said in the introduction, I'm not putting a specific question to this, I'm just open to whatever messages need to come through about your career. Again, I apologise for my voice, and if I'm coughing or sneezing or sniffing at any point, which I'm sure I will be throughout the reading. I know a lot of you watch my videos because you like my voice and you find it quite relaxing, so with it being kind of choked up and nasally at the moment, I'm sure that relaxing effect is limited somewhat, so I apologize for that. Yeah, I'm just soldiering on with this reading. So let me just find, where's the Lizard card in this book? Oh, there it is. Okay, so as I said, the Lizard is a fire elemental card in this deck, because they are often in kind of sandy or desert territories. So let's see what Lizard says about you as a person. It says the Lizard is an expert in the realm of sensory perception. As if it has a sixth sense, the Lizard hears what is yet to be spoken and sees what is yet to manifest. Although this is an amazing gift, it can easily wear the Lizard down. Big crowds, lots of travel, or overstimulation will drain a lizard of their magical essence. This card is an indication to pull back from the bright lights in big city and return to the inner artist who's been whispering your name. When in balance, this person is artistic, telepathic, and spiritual. When out of balance, they are elusive, non-committal, and flaky. And to bring themselves back into balance, they require a creative project. So I think that's really interesting in the realms of career, because not only is it talking about your abilities, your talents, and kind of your sensitivity as an individual, but it's also maybe a message for those of you who are feeling drained by the corporate environment or the kind of, rat race where you're caught up in the commuting cycle and 9 to 5 and sort of soulless jobs. It feels like a lot of you are wondering, do I stay in this corporate environment, or do I continue or even enter like a maybe cutthroat job or a high responsibility job? Or do I go down the route of creativity? Because there is a part of you that wants to express some kind of creative talent, or wants to see where your artistic leanings can take you in the realms of career. And obviously there's always that worry, that dichotomy between the creative job being more emotionally fulfilling but maybe not as financially viable, whereas the very well-paying job can be very mentally or emotionally draining. So group 1. So we've got the Lovers opening up your reading there, which is Gemini's energy. We also have the Hierophant. Okay, so 2 major arcana cards. And the Ten of Pentacles. Interesting. So yeah, there's Gemini and Taurus showing up here, and there's definitely this vibe of like, what do I do? Like with the Lovers, I can see there's this feeling of wanting to follow your heart, wanting to be, sort of emotionally fulfilled, doing something that really speaks to you on that inner level. The Hierophant is always also pointing maybe not towards emotional fulfillment necessarily, but kind of a spiritual fulfillment, like finding your community, having the people around you that really resonate with you. And the Ten of Pentacles is also showing that up, but it's also pointing towards financial stability, and particularly in terms of longevity. Like some of you may have children who you either obviously need to provide for, or you're worried about what you can put away for their future. Obviously, I'm in the UK, and I know that prices are just continuously rising in terms of the housing market and cost of goods, and I'm sure that's the case in many other places all over the world as well. So there's that fear of like, if I don't save for their futures or even my own future now, will I be able to buy a house, or will I be able to leave the children enough money to get on the housing ladder? Will I be able to afford this kind of lifestyle in 2, 3, 4, 5 years time, etc.? Like there's these kind of worries, I think, the sort of long-term responsibility worries they're floating around your head. So yeah, I can really understand the problem that you're facing here is like, I want to do something that I enjoy and be surrounded by people that I appreciate, because definitely the feeling I'm getting from both the Lizard and the Hierophant, and also to some extent the other cards as well, is like right now in the company or the sort of sphere that I'm in career-wise, I really don't like the people that surround me, or like the workplace environment. So there could be a toxic environment, or like I said, it could be a cutthroat environment where everyone's trying to outdo each other and get one over each other. Work-wise, it's not like a collaborative team where everyone supports each other. It's like everyone trying to kick each other down so that they can rise up. And that really just doesn't gel with you because you have this sensitivity. Let's get some more cards. Please do subscribe as well, Group 1, if you enjoy the reading. It really helps out my channel, and it also means that you don't miss out whenever I post a video. And I've been doing this channel for over 2 years now, and I've always been extremely regular with my posting. Group 1. Violet Duchess, stifled, bored and stuck. Number 18, just that feeling of like I'm not feeling it. You know, my current job is not fulfilling. It's just humdrum. It's, you know, day to day everything's the same. It's the same feelings I'm getting. It's the same problems I'm dealing with. And, you know, I'm sure that would be the case with the creative career that you're thinking of, in the sense of like the problems are usually more or less the same, but you would feel more motivated maybe to tackle them. Number 29, Horned Cactus, Resourcefulness. This is maybe for some of you also like not so much necessarily the difference between working in a corporate environment or an office versus working in a creative field. It's more about working for someone versus working for yourself. Like I see that coming through as well. Some of you are just literally thinking, you know, I could just set up my own company. It doesn't necessarily have to be an artistic business or a creative kind of job, but you just think, I don't want to be working for someone all the time, caught in that cycle of always having to answer to someone, always having to deal with, you know, being in an office with people I don't like, or working dictated hours, or not being able to take time off whenever I want to. You know, there's that kind of influence here. Then we've got Brown Bear Spirit, Take Time Out, number 9. Wow. And obviously the bear came out on Group 2's reading, so I'm wondering if there's maybe going to be some crossover between Group 1 and 2. You might have felt drawn to Group 2 when you were trying to pick, and so you might want to watch that one as well. Yeah, that's interesting. And so the Take Time Out, maybe you do genuinely just need a break from the work that you're doing, and then there's that fear again of, will I be secure, you know, enough to cover that time out. Not everyone has the luxury of being able to take a sabbatical and fund it themselves, or take a sort of mental health break or a recovery break and not be paid for it. But I definitely feel like the cards seem to be advising, like your spiritual team seem to be advising some kind of move or shift from where you are. Like it hasn't escaped my notice, for example, that you're getting the number 10 and then 9. So you've got 18 there, which boils down to 9. You've got 29 and you've got 9. So they all signify completion. Whoa, Group 1, emotional exhaustion. This is really what I'm picking up on. Like, you just don't gel with the people around you. And the job is tiring, and it's like thankless work, or you just really aren't, like, you can do it, but your heart isn't in it. So it feels like you're dragging yourself out of bed every day, you're dragging yourself to the office every day and just thinking, why? Like, you know, do I want to be doing this for the rest of my life? Like, I'm spending the majority of my time around these people that I hate and not around my family or, you know, my loved ones. I'm spending the majority of my time working on something that I don't actually enjoy or believe in. Why is this the case? I think you're asking yourself those questions a lot. So in here we've got Fantasievorstellungen, number 61, fantasies. I think that's very clear that you're probably sat at the desk thinking, you know, where else could I be right now? What else could I be doing? We have richtiger Zeitpunkt, number 16, right time. And then Selbstliebe, self-love, number 1. Honestly, like, I feel as though the cards are saying this is, you know, you've been fantasizing about this for a long time, but now is the right time for you to consider making these changes and to do it for yourself, because you need this break. You are this wilting flower that is drooping because of this emotional exhaustion or this feeling of just not being maybe valued in work, maybe just having to deal with people you don't like all the time. And it might not even be co-workers, it could be clients, customers, etc. It could just be one particular person that's getting you down. But you're just kind of thinking, why? Like, I've reached my limit. Why should I put up with this? I really do not know. Then we have Leiden, number 23, Suffering. We've also got Zeifen Oper, number 38, Soap Opera, which really seems to fit this like toxic or dramatic work environment feeling. And number 43, Überleben, Survival. Like you're not thriving, you're just surviving in this environment or this particular field that you're working in. So definitely that's being recognized, validated by your spiritual team quite strongly, that this is just how you're feeling. And I think it's been like this for a long time. I don't think this is a new situation. I think it's something that you've suffered for quite a long time, and it's having like a long-term knock-on effect on your health, emotionally, physically, mentally. You're probably quite tired all the time, or maybe have some physical complaints that are caused by the stress or the worry or the tiredness, like aches and pains, headaches, difficulty sleeping, etc. So your inner masculine is coming through to say Hanuman, devotion, number 20. Could be that you've given a lot to this job and now it's time to maybe put your focus on that devotion more on yourself. And your inner feminine is coming through as Bast or Bastet, independent. Your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. So if you take both of these together, there is that message about the sort of two polarities within you, wanting to devote yourself to your independence and not devote yourself to another person or someone else's demands or needs or expectations. Finding sanctuary, opening to your spiritual source. And this is definitely true, because I get the feeling that when you go to work you kind of feel less safe, not in the sense that you're going to be like physically in danger, but something within you is railing against everything with regards to this workplace. Like for people who've been bullied as children or in the workplace, or who've suffered any kind of abuse at home, for example, you will know that feeling of trying to actively avoid being around a particular person or going to a particular place because everything in your body and psyche and soul is railing against the thought of being in that position again, or seeing that person or being in that place. And yet you have to go there all the time because it's work or it's home or it's school or whatever. So it feels unsafe. Your brain is telling you, I feel unsafe because I feel like I'm going to be drained, or I feel like I'm going to be, verbally attacked by someone, or I feel like I'm going to have so much stress piled up on top of me by other people. So whatever it is that you're considering as a different option feels more safe. Like it feels like somewhere where you don't feel in danger. And like I said, it's not a physical danger. It's like your brain is telling you that I just don't feel safe emotionally in this situation. So then a few cards here. Yeah, this makes sense. So we've got number 16, the Gallows. Number 37, Sleeping Demon. And number 34, the Falling Woman. So the Falling Woman, that's obviously kind of when you feel like you've lost your grip, lost your control on a situation. The Sleeping Demon is when you feel overworked, like you need rest or like you need a break, some time out physically, when you feel sort of mentally and emotionally drained. And then the Gallows sort of points towards these people that are causing problems and needing to put an end to a situation. It's like people, I don't know, like behaving in a way that's very negative and then not being given justice for that, or sort of everyone all jumping in all together, like sort of ganging up on people. That's the feeling I get. And for some of you, that might not resonate because it might just be one person or the general environment that is stressing you out. But I think a lot of you are coming here because there is like multiple people in your workplace or in your current field of work that you just feel threatened by, or you feel intimidated by, or you feel drained by, and you hate spending time with them because you come away feeling irritated or tired or even like unsettled in the sense of like fearful, because you just really don't gel with those people. Then we've got number 33. Let your personality shine. You have something no one else has that makes you who you are. Stop comparing yourself to others and allow your uniqueness to shine through. I think that's such a lovely message, sort of telling you you've got so much to offer. I think it fits nicely with Bastet as well. This independence and self-determination. Okay, I just heard quite strongly that the ancestors want to give a message. So I'll get the Ancestor Spirit Oracle. I wasn't going to use these, but I just literally heard ancestors, or like ancestors want to speak. So let's see what they have to, hear what they have to say, sorry. Okay, ancestors say focus on children, pregnancy, birth, adoption. So this could take us back to that Ten of Pentacles message where I said that some of you are really worried about providing for your children, or providing like an inheritance or some kind of future in that sense for your children. Maybe some of you are wanting to work in like a child-centered or child-focused sphere or business, and that's like a specific message for you. This might not be for everyone. I just literally heard ancestors want to speak, so I just had to pull that card. But if that really doesn't resonate, that's fine. It's not for you, it's for someone else. Really feel that might only be a validation for a couple of people. Chewing gum. Analyze, process, consider. So no snap decisions. Take your time to think about what you need to do. Obviously you don't want to make a decision like super quickly and then regret making that choice. We have Nabirai Visatu. Gain height. Basically see it from a higher perspective, see things in the long term, or like take yourself out of the current detail and hyper-focused perspective of the situation and see it from a higher viewpoint. And that's the Seven of Arrows, that card, if that means anything to you. Hüte dein kleines Geheimnis. This is interesting. Okay. The Earth Elementals say, preserve your little secret. Keep your little secret, basically. And you can see she's holding, this little Earth Elemental is holding what looks like a little pearl. So as much as you need some time to think things through, you're actually being cautioned to not share your plans with anyone. Don't sort of say to a family member what you're planning to do, or to, you know, people at work. You don't want gossip to spread. You don't want to give people a chance to sabotage you or to react or try and push you, like influence you to make a particular decision. And then full moon in Taurus, detoxify. So there is just this heavy message about pulling back from what is draining you and what is negative. So I think for those of you that are considering changing career or considering pulling out of your current business or company, I think you're being given the green light to do that, and actually saying this will have a very positive effect on your overall health. Let's look at your charms, and then we'll do your dice as well. Group 1 for your extra messages. Okay. So what I'm noticing here is we've got the worry thread actually coming through twice because it's there as well. So this sort of message of anxiety that I think has been creeping up for quite a long time. There are also 2 love hearts here. That one there and then this one. So it's very much about following your heart. And like I've been saying, emotional fulfillment really sort of coming first. We've got this weight, this burden, something that weighs down heavily upon you. You've got an earth elemental showing up, which is really sweet. And the earth elementals, when they come up in a charm reading like that, they say it's fine to be different. You don't need to follow anyone else's expectations or anyone else's steps to success. It's fine to do things in your own way. And then over here we've got the Russian doll. So for some of you there could be a connection to Russia, could be to do with your current business, could be that you speak Russian, or maybe you or someone involved in this situation has a Russian name or surname or family history connected to Russia, or a Russian speaking country. That might only be for a few of you, just as validation that this is your pile, like this card. But it's also a symbol of sort of painting on a happy face, sort of pretending that everything's okay when it's not, when actually you've stuffed all those feelings and the things you want to say deep down inside you. So it's just a warning against pretending it's all okay for too long. By all means, you know, consider this and don't let on about anything, but don't stay in a situation where you feel like you're constantly having to swallow what you truly want to say and like push down your feelings. Then down here we've got the Diva Bunny, which is always a nice charm to get. When we get this charm, it says that whatever we're worrying about will not come to pass or will not be as bad as we expected. So I sometimes call it the like much ado about nothing charm, or the mountain out of a molehill charm, because it means that whatever we're really worried about or whatever seems really huge in our minds right now, is really plaguing us with fear, is not going to have the catastrophic effect that we think it's going to, or is actually not going to happen at all. So always take heart when you see that charm. And then down here we've got Neptune as well showing up on the astrology dice. So this is really interesting because Neptune really fits in with our emotions and our creativity, and also with our fantasies, like our imagination. So he is present really strongly throughout this reading for you, because you seem to be tapping into Neptune's energies quite strongly, not just in wanting to do something creative and which fulfills you on an emotional level, but also in the sense that I feel that your mind has been wandering a lot while you've been at work and just imagining where else you could be, or what else you could be doing that you would find more fulfilling. So I would recommend looking up where Neptune is in your birth chart, what sign and house he's in, what aspects he's forming, if any, and also potentially where Neptune's transit is right now for you, how that's affecting your birth chart, because this could be where this sense of a need for change is coming in, like the kind of, as I said, I feel like you've been putting up with it for a long time, but it's like the turning point, so to speak, when you've really reached the end of your rope in a situation. You can't stick with it anymore. Something that you've borne for a long time just can't continue anymore. So we'll do your dice now as well to finish up your reading, group 1. Okay, so we're rolling the 10th set of dice for you. These don't get rolled very often. These are relatively new. These are the Scooby-Doo dice. It's lovely to use them, these ones. I've only had them a few weeks, but I think I've only used them about 2 or 3 times in YouTube and private readings combined. Okay, that's a 1, so I'm going to roll again. When I get a 0 or a 1 in this position, I always roll again to see if I can get any more. Okay, 2. Okay, we're rolling 2 dice for you. Group 1. Let's see what messages need to come through here. I always do that because I don't want to roll all 9 dice and have, 7 or 8 dice be confusing or conflicting, or just not have a message for you. I don't see any point in doing that. Okay, so we've got the Wolfman which is interesting. The Wolfman is like literally about shifts and transitions, often very sudden or very like dramatic changes. So, you know, obviously like a werewolf, for example, will change once night falls and you can see the full moon. It's like night and day, like a huge dramatic shift, but also a very sudden one. So I feel like that's kind of where you're coming from here, is this need for this dramatic change and this sudden shift. It might have crept up on you very suddenly that you need to make a change. Like, as I said, I think you've been suffering or struggling for a long time, but it's not until like literally maybe a few days or a few weeks ago that you suddenly reached the point where you just thought, no, I can't do this anymore. Like, you just kind of snapped, if that makes sense. And then we have Alice Dovely. So this is obviously a minor character. I think she's only in one episode, but Alice Dovely is basically a secretary for a company, but she's only working there because she's plotting to take them down because she got fired somewhere else. So she got fired by, like, I can't remember exactly what it was, like a parent company or something else that the people ran previously, and she wants to get revenge. She's sort of plotting to take them down from the inside. So I think this is symbolic of how you feel like you just really can't get on with the people around you because there's this toxic environment, like two-faced people or untrustworthy people or just generally nasty people around you at work, you know, like people who gossip. We've got the soap opera card, etc., who aren't who they claim to be or pretend to be to your face, etc. But I think it's also kind of symbolic of how you really just are working in a place that you're not getting any pleasure out of working there. Like, you're there to earn money, for example. Like, she was there because she wanted revenge on the company. She wasn't there because she enjoyed the job or because she genuinely wanted to do that job. So I think that's where that's coming in as well. And obviously this desire for a shift and change is coming through loud and clear. So group 1, I really hope you've enjoyed this reading. I hope it's given you the messages and the guidance that you needed, as well as the validation maybe that you needed of how you're feeling and what decisions you are thinking of taking. Thank you so much for being here, and please let me know in the comments what you thought of this reading, whether it resonated with you. I would love to hear from you. Please do like, share and subscribe as well if you enjoyed this video. That really helps me to get seen more on YouTube, and it helps us to get these messages to as many people as possible as well. If you're interested in the work that I do and you'd like to get more involved, please check out my description box and the comment that I post below in the comments section. They're always full of links. So from there you can go and follow me on Instagram to get daily oracle cards in your feed. You can head over to Patreon and consider becoming a patron if you'd like to get access to exclusive content and lovely rewards, and now also the astrology features as well, the astrology course that I'm making in real time over there. You can head over to my Etsy shop if you would like to book a private reading or a healing session with me. I have lots of services and products over there that I'm sure would interest anyone. If you would like to donate to the channel, then I have 2 wish lists linked below for new tarot and oracle decks. Thank you to everyone who is considering that, because that is really generous of you. And I also have a PayPal link for tips and donations which support me in the work that I do and help me to keep making these videos. So thank you to everyone who has considered donating there. And we also have a discount running still with Modern Day Manifestations. So if you want to get 10% off beautiful handmade crystal jewelry, just click the link below. That link will validate the discount code, and then once you've chosen your beautiful jewelry, you can use the discount code VIOLET at checkout and get 10% off your first order. They also do free international shipping as well, so that's a real positive too. So thank you so much again, Group 1, for being here and sticking with me until the end. Have a lovely rest of your day. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Hi there, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose Bear and the Circle of Life Tarot, then we're going to see what messages want to come through about your career. As I said in the introduction, I'm not using a specific question. I'm just open to whatever messages need to come in. And I apologise again for my voice and if I am coughing or sneezing or sniffing throughout the reading, which I'm sure I will be. I know a lot of you watch my readings because you find my voice very relaxing, and I'm sure that with it being sort of choked up and nasally at the moment, that's probably not the case. So I do Apologize for that, but I really just wanted to get this reading done for you guys. So let's take a look at the Bear card and what it means for you, what it says about you as a person. As I said in the intro, it's an earth element card. Let me just find it in the guidebook. There it is. Okay, so it says, after a long winter, the bear arises from deep slumber. At first, the movement and effort are difficult, but the bear knows it's time to awaken and move towards the dawning light. The bear card represents an individual on the cusp of new directions and personal transformation. The initial weeks and months of this spiritual quest may feel tricky, cumbersome, and full of obstacles. But you have no choice, bear. Winter wanes, the warmth of spring emerges, and your transformation begins. When in balance, this person has a lot of inner strength and a yearning to grow. When out of balance, they are withdrawn, lethargic, and feel heavy. And to bring themselves back into balance, they need to engage in movement and exercise. So this is interesting because that's a message I've been getting for the collective a lot recently, like being on the verge of change and coming out of the comfort zone or a period of slumber or inaction to a period of growth, and that may seem difficult at first or even impossible to do, but you will get there. So I really like that you've got that, because that means that you're in tune with the sort of universal energies at the moment. So let's see what your tarot says, group 2. Okay, that was very quick. So we've got the Knight of Swords. We have the Page of Wands, 2 court cards. Then you've got the Six of Swords. And the Two of Pentacles. And actually in this deck, it's important to note that the snake is kind of taking its time to sort of slumber or hibernate or rest around these trees because he's shedding his skin. So it has that message of change and evolution inherent within it. So we've got all of the air and fire signs showing up, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and the fact that it's also an earth elemental card that you chose on the pile marker maybe makes me feel like a lot of people are going to choose this pile because we're kind of getting a lot of the signs here. So definitely with the Knight of Swords and the Page of Wands, I can see there's this desire for something new, and that might not be something you're feeling consciously. Like I said, you might be feeling like there's no way I can do this, there's no way I can get out of my comfort zone in that sense. But on a deep psychological level or a soul level, there is a desire for forward movement, and this is coming towards you. Like literally the card says you have no choice there, and that's the message I've been getting for a lot of people in the collective. Like, you may not consciously want to do this, but you kind of don't have a choice about it because you're being pushed into the wide world. Like, you spent your time in the nest, or you spent your time in the cave or your comfort zone, whatever you want to call it, and now you're being encouraged to go out in the world, and the circumstances around you are changing to allow that. You're being given opportunities to make those changes, and that's what the Six of Swords says as well. A time of improvement, mentally feeling brighter, but also the circumstances around you changing, and there's a message of travel and movement that's inherent within that card, and obviously also within the Knight of Swords, and to some extent the Page of Wands as well. So the Two of Pentacles then brings us this sense of balance. Like I said, in this particular deck, it does have a message of evolution, but just in general, it has a sense of balance. Some of you may be working 2 jobs or looking to do that. Some of you trying to improve your work-life balance more generally. Strange Valentine. Love is strange. Number 27. That's interesting in a career reading. Maybe you have had some ups and downs in love recently, or you're dealing with some love issues that are kind of taking your attention away from your career. Maybe you're even feeling drawn towards something that seems quite unusual career-wise, and you're thinking, why is that the case? And, you know, the answer is that we can't really choose what we're interested in necessarily, or we can't choose what we're drawn to or passionate about. That's something that comes from deep within us. It's not something we can sort of consciously choose to be attracted to or not be attracted to. So I think there's a little bit of a quirkiness here, like you're thinking, it's something very niche that I'm feeling drawn towards doing, or like what I really want to do is something that's quite unusual, and I'm not really sure why I can't just be happy with a normal job, or, you know, the things that all of my friends are doing. Will-o'-the-wisp, treasures hidden in the shadows. Number 62. So yeah, there is definitely something here about like a slow realization of where you're going. I think part of the fear of getting back out into the world is engendered by a lack of clarity. Group 2, I feel like you're thinking, well, I've had all this time to think and I still don't know what I want to do, or I'm still not clear really on exactly where I'm meant to be in my life, what I'm meant to be doing career-wise or contributing to the world, and that frightens me. But I think there is like a gradual realization coming your way of what it is that you need to do. There's a gentle sort of, it's not like an overnight sudden, yes, this is it. It's like a gradual creeping sensation. Scarab beetle spirit, magic works through you. Number 52. You got 62 and 52. That's quite nice. And obviously the number 2 there. And I guess that's 62 as well, isn't it? 6 of swords, 2 of pentacles. I think of both of them as being quite balanced numbers, 6 and 2. But yeah, magic works through you. There's something special about you. Group 2, you have something special to give. This is not just, like going back to this card, this is not you just wanting to do a regular job. This is something that where you have a particular talent that you can share, or a particular passion that has arisen because you will be good at doing this kind of job, or because your brain works in a certain way that means that you can do this a lot more easily than, you know, 99% of people could. There's something you can do that others don't do or couldn't do as easily. Patience, yes. This is clear. Like, I get the feeling that you've been worried because you don't know exactly what to do. And like, it's almost like you were expecting during this time of stagnancy for you to have your realization, like, okay, you know, I've got a lot of thinking time. This is my time to think about what I want to do, but it's like that didn't happen, or that other things took over, or you didn't get that realization you were hoping for. And that's partly why you're afraid. But I do think that realization is going to come soon. You just need to be patient with yourself and with this process of not only realization, but also of stepping out of your cave, your comfort zone. Be patient with that process. Any adjusting that you need to do, or extra rest that you need to get in. Okay, so here we've got Verrat, number 51, betrayal. Dürre, number 74, drought. And then falsche Geisteshaltung, number 64. So then 74, 64. Falsche Geisteshaltung means wrong attitude. So there is something here about needing to change the mindset. And I think it's going to come about gradually. With this realization of what you need to do. What's interesting is the betrayal and the drought card to me. Like, this is like saying you feel betrayed, or you feel like cheated or lied to because there hasn't been like an overwhelming source of opportunities for you recently. Maybe you recently started looking for jobs and you thought, you know, I'm someone who should be in demand, or I'm someone who's got a lot of experience, and, you know, or I want to really work in this type of position, and you've been looking and you just are like, there's no opportunities there. Or you've had interviews and you've not been taken on, and you think, you know, why would you do that? Or why am I being sort of barred out from these opportunities? Maybe you're starting to mistrust the universe a little bit. But there is something here in the attitude that's wrong, and I think it's because you're either focusing on the wrong kind of thing. So you've got, you know, maybe you think, okay, I want to do this, and what you actually want to do, or will end up doing, or will be really good at, is this, and it's similar but it's not quite the same, or it's the same thing but it's not in the same place. Like, there's something like this where there's a little bit of redirection needed, group 2, but I do think in general you're on the right path. And you are going to get this sudden clarity, this sort of, I just want to say, like, it's a creeping or gradual realization that then just comes to you, and you're like, oh, this, yes, or this opportunity. Definitely picking up on some resentment or mistrust, though, because you think it should have been easier for me, or like I should have been maybe more clearly guided, like I shouldn't have had to waste my time applying for this, or sort of psyching myself up to do this kind of job if that wasn't the right opportunity for me. But there is obviously a reason behind this. We've got Gia, number 11, greed. Begabung, number 52, talent. And then Tod, number 41, death. So this time of great transition and change, obviously, which we got from the bear card, but I think the death card also fits well with the drought card, about how you have been trying, but you've just felt like there's no opportunity. And I'm really picking up on that from your energy, as like, I've done stuff, or I've shown interest, or I've had, this intention, but I've just not been met with the opportunities. But now those circumstances are changing, and you are going to be met with those opportunities, and you're just being asked to be a little bit more patient with yourself and with the process. The greed card is coming through, but I'm not feeling greed from you. I'm almost feeling like you're starting to think, am I being greedy? Like, I don't see you as someone who's being greedy or who's asking for too much, but I think you're starting to doubt that. Like, you're thinking, this is what I should be earning because of my qualifications, or because of where I live, or the type of job that this is that I'm looking for. But maybe I'm being greedy. Maybe I should be, scaling back. Or maybe you're thinking, okay, these are the criteria that are really, really important for me in a job, but maybe I've been too demanding, or I've set my expectations too high, and I need to scale back on some of the things. I'm seeing, like, as your patience runs out, you're starting to question yourself. But you do have this really great talent. And now the number 52 has been repeated. You got 51 as well, but 52 has come out twice. 2 definitely seems to be important, because that's showing up a lot in your reading, and obviously this is pile number 2. Inner masculine is coming through as Kronos or Saturn, and it's number 28, so there's that 2 again. And he says reaping. Okay, so Kronos or Saturn, he's a god of time, so there's that patience that's inherent in this situation for you. He's holding an hourglass. You feel like you're running out of time, but I genuinely think things are going to come together at the right time for you. Like, I almost feel like you're thinking, oh my goodness, how is it possible for everything to sort of come together at the 11th hour like that? Like, I was literally, at the end of my contract, looking desperately for other jobs for maybe like 6 months, 8 months, a year, and just like in the last week or the last month of my contract, I get offered another job, like somewhere else that I really wanted. It's like, how did that happen in such a short period of time? So there is that feeling I get, like it's almost like a miracle how the timing works out. But for a long period leading up to that, you do feel frustrated. Kronos Saturn also talks about reaping. Okay, that's the message that's inherent with him. So there is something here about karmic reaping. You have put in a lot of work, a lot of effort that is being repaid to you. I think in this sense it's definitely a positive effort, like a positive reward or benefit that you're being given. But I just want to say, don't get complacent now. Like, don't let yourself run out of steam now and sort of give up, because I really feel like there is something great coming towards you, and by throwing in the towel now when you're almost at the last hurdle, it just feels like you would be doing yourself such a disservice, group 2. So please do try and stay on board with this situation. Kronos or Saturn is also really inherent with me for career situations, because obviously Saturn, he's connected to Capricorn, the ambitious sign, the sign that's most often associated with career, especially high-flying careers, or careers rather than jobs. And Saturn shows us astrologically how we discipline ourselves, and how we sacrifice things and deal with boundaries and limitations, and how we how disciplined we are or not, and how much we are prepared to put in effort for things that we want, because Saturn and Kronos, he's not just a time deity, he's also a deity of agriculture. So there's that inherent message of like, you put in the effort and then you got to wait a long time before you see your results, and how much you put in, you know, effort wise and attention wise, when you can't even see the shoots of what you've planted for quite a long time, is really contributes to what your ultimate outcome will be, your ultimate crop at the end of your harvest season. And then from your inner feminine, you've got Aphrodite, inner goddess. Awaken the goddess within you through dance, self-care, and appreciating your divinity. So these are very interesting because they're both connected to major planets astrologically. So Venus, obviously, is Aphrodite's other name. Venus is the planet of beauty and love and relationships, but also things that are connected to that, like fashion, home design. Less so fashion, more about maybe cosmetics and appearance, but decor, home design, luxury products. So that could be tied into your career path, but I honestly think it's more about the energy you put out there. So obviously we've got Saturn, who is like a sort of patriarchal kind of grandfather figure in many ways. He represents the traditional man and the ancestral man, someone who has a lot of experience. And then Aphrodite, or Venus, comes through as this strong, creative, uninhibited energy. So it's like blending the two things. And I just think it's showing that you have so much talent. Cleansing waters. Purification activates vibrant life force. So possibly with Aphrodite, there is something here to do with healing being part of your career path. This is also about detoxing, and just again, I get a really patient vibe from that card. It's not rushing, it's not urgent, it's very relaxed, it's very gentle. So here we've got number 37, the sleeping demon. Group 1 got that card as well. This symbol of needing to take a rest, take a break, and I think that fits in with the cleansing waters card quite nicely. Be patient with yourself, like literally. That's coming through. The Tord, the death card, is also similar in its imagery. Your ancestors say laugh and have fun, smile, positive energy, joyfulness. So really, as we come out of this comfort zone, group 2, and start to embrace change and widen your circle and widen or just increase your world generally, I think, you know, there's that patience that needs to come in with you for yourself, for the process, resting, smiling, trying to be as positive as possible about it. Entdecke die Vielfalt. Auch du trägst ungeahnte Gesichter in dir. Sorry, I couldn't read that properly. This is your message from the Earth Elementals, and it says, discover variety. Even you, or you as well, carry like unrecognized faces within you. So I think you're definitely being encouraged to look down different avenues from what you're currently looking at. I don't feel like it's that far away, group 2. Like, I think whatever the key thing is that draws you to the career paths that you're currently looking at, that's also inherent within the right path for you, or the right opportunity for you. There's just something about it that's different, like the nature of the role, or maybe where it's located. You have more to offer than what you're currently thinking, is what this card is saying. There's more to you than what you're thinking about or considering right now. Inner desires, number 16, set some intentions. You are entering a phase of plenty or may have a sudden windfall. Goals are within your grasp. That's a gorgeous card. That's a really, really lovely card of encouragement and validation for those of you that have felt out of the loop for quite a long time. I think you're really going to enjoy what you end up doing. Group 2, like really feel like you are contributing something special or really bringing something to the table that is unique. Хорошего плавания. You have this card which means like have a good swim. It's the one of crosses, if that means anything to you, and there's this lovely mechanical whale floating through the sky. So it's like sort of again gently drifting from what you're currently thinking about. It's almost like maybe you've been trying to follow a rigid career path, if we go back to Kronos Saturn, like, oh, you know, this is how I'm going to do it. I want to go specifically down this path, etc. This is the promotion route, etc. And that's where I'm going to get my dream job at the end of it, or earn a certain amount at the end of it. And it's kind of like saying, what's actually better for you is if you go, instead of going like this, is if you go like this a little bit, like through some different roles to keep you interested and to let you gain this incredible experience and to give what it is that you have to offer. It's less of a straight path and more of a, it's not drifting, but it's like more of a curved path is what I'm seeing. And that's really not a bad thing. Black licorice, obscure, niche, esoteric. What did I say? Group 2, what did I say about niche right at the start of the reading? That's incredible. Wow, I love it when the cards just repeat something I've already said, or repeat their words across the decks. And your advice card is last quarter moon in Aquarius. Reflect on your priorities. That's a nice card. So yeah, I really feel like there is something here where it's telling you that the sort of current thing that you're focusing on is not fundamentally wrong. You've got, for example, say you want to work in sales. You know, you're still going to be working in sales, but the best role for you is not in that company, or it's not selling that particular thing, or it's not in that particular location. Like there's something different about it from what you're currently narrowing yourself down to. So don't narrow yourself, is what your spiritual team are trying to communicate here. So we're going to do your charms now, group 2, and then we are going to move on to your dice. So okay, so you've got Cancer's energy showing up here. So Cancer is kind of the opposite. It's the opposite to Capricorn, which Saturn rules. Cancer's ruled by the moon. So there is like this mismatch here between like what you want status-wise and what you want emotionally. I feel like you want to give more of yourself. Like you want to be, the way I'm seeing it is like you want to be in a job that's less faceless, or you want to be in a job that is less kind of like hidden, is what I'm hearing. Like you want to be more visible, or you want to have more like one-to-one contact with people. You want to help people more, or be more hands-on in the role that you do. That's the kind of feeling that I get with Cancer, is you want to be more of assistance to people in like a one-to-one hands-on way, rather than in a very detached, faceless, distant way. Okay, we've also got the past life relationship charm coming through. So you're possibly going to be doing something or trying to do something that you've done before in a past life, so it comes quite naturally to you. That might be why you're so talented at it. We've got the stubborn dog charm, so definitely your spiritual team are confirming that you're a little bit stubborn when it comes to career. Nothing wrong with that, but there's definitely room to expand your horizons a little bit. We've got the worry thread, symbolizing your anxiety. Fearless, though. You can really do anything. Please don't let a lack of confidence put you off from going for that great job or, applying to that big name company. You can do this. You will, it might be scary at first, but once you're settled in, you're absolutely capable of it, group 2. You are protected from a higher source. Hand of Fatima there. Really beautiful. Then we've got the movie camera. Now, this is a confirmation symbol for those of you wanting to work in creative fields or to do with, kind of film, TV, video editing, those kinds of things. But it's also just a general symbol for things going on behind the scenes that you're not currently aware of. So it feels like this drought. That's the card that this charm has landed on. But actually, the circumstances are changing externally. You're just not consciously noticing it yet. It's not consciously come into your life just yet, but I think it really will, really very soon. And then your last charm is the crown, which is about sovereignty and not being pushed around or sort of making decisions that maybe your family want you to make. That's also where Saturn comes in, is like the expectations of the older generation, or the traditional expectations of others. So that might be playing a part for you, but it's really important that you follow what you need to do. So let's do your dice, group 2. So we're going to roll the 8th set of dice for you. Those are the Adventure Time dice. These ones. And we're rolling all 9 of them for you, group 2. So. Okay, yeah, so straight away, I'm seeing a few things here. I'm seeing tree trunks. Tree trunks is this cute little elephant who almost acts as like a grandma to the main characters in the Adventure Time cartoon. She's very caring, she's very loving. She definitely has that Cancer energy to her, this kind of motherly energy. And she is famous for making apple pie. So there's this comforting, helpful energy that I think that you're trying to cultivate. Like, you want to be more helpful to people one-on-one, or you want to be more present in people's lives in that sense. You don't just want to be removed from what's going on. You've also got Desert of Doom, which to me, I mean, it fits so well because it looks so much like the Drought card. Like, literally, there's even like a skull there. Then you have the Chest Burster, which, being a treasure chest, always makes me think of abundance and kind of finding the right opportunities. You have Cinnamon Bun, this very gentle, sweet character who kind of comes across as a bit dumb sometimes. You might be feeling like, I haven't achieved my true potential. I'm sort of wandering from situation to situation, and I can see that as well because we've got a couple of people cards here. So we've people dice. We've got the person who is like smitten, really like happy with something or drawn to something, and then the person who's embarrassed. So there's like a feeling here of like, I'm drawn to this but I'm embarrassed by it, or I'm drawn to this but I'm not happy with the fact that that's the case. I don't want to tell my family, for example, or I worry what people might think of me. We've then also got the hugging people kind of making up, the people who understand each other. Then we have the Enchiridion, this handbook that kind of it's like a manual to the universe, and it's able to open wormholes. So I feel like that's indicative of how you have been hoping for answers to just be given to you, or a very clear path to be laid out in front of you. And I feel like that is sort of available to you on a spiritual level, but not in a conscious form right now. But I do think that portals are being opened for you with that dice. And we've also got the Hall of Egress, And this is very, very interesting because it's a cave and you chose the bear, like this sort of hibernation thing. But the Hall of Egress is literally, when you walk into it, the door disappears and you've literally got to walk through your own mind, going through this hall, doing things your own way and becoming independent. And Finn, the main character, can only leave the Hall of Egress through walking with his eyes closed through the gateway. And that's the only way that he's able to leave it. And I think so much of this is about you kind of not really seeing very far in front of you, having to walk literally with your eyes closed through this situation, which feels frightening. And if you do have, like, obviously Capricorn, but, other forward planning, maybe Aquarius, for example, energies within your birth chart quite strongly that make you always want to have a very clear long-term vision, and you don't have that, that can be something you're really struggling with. But I think you literally just have to accept that you are being guided, you are being sort of pushed through the wormhole, so to speak, through the right portal. You're just having to do it without a lot of deep knowledge of where you're going. So just, trust in yourself and trust in the universe is my main piece of advice to you right now. So group 2, I really hope you've enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for supporting me. Please do let me know in the comments what you thought of this reading, whether it resonated with you, because I would love to hear from you. Please do also like, share and subscribe as well if you did enjoy it, because that really helps out my channel and it means that we can get these messages to as many people as possible as well. If you're interested in the work that I do here and you would like to get more involved, check out my description box or the comment that I post in the comments section below. They are always full of links. So from there you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram to get daily oracle cards in your feed. You can go over to Patreon if you'd like to learn more about astrology or get access to other exclusive content and exciting features. Then consider becoming a patron over there and supporting me. You can head over to my Etsy page to book a private reading or healing session with me. If you're feeling very generous and would like to donate to the channel, thank you so much. I have 2 wish lists linked below for new tarot and oracle decks, and I also have a PayPal link for tips and donations which support me in the work that I do and help me to keep making these videos. So thank you so much to anyone who has considered donating or considered becoming a patron. And we do still have a discount running with Modern Day Manifestations. So they're very kindly giving us 10% off your first order of beautiful handmade crystal jewellery that they make. They also have free worldwide international shipping. And if you click the link that's in the description box below or in my comment below, that will activate the discount code. And then once you've chosen your jewellery, you can just put in the discount code Violet at checkout and that will give you your 10% off your first order. So thank you so much again for being here, group 2. Have a lovely rest of your day. Take care of yourself and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Hey there, group 3. Welcome to your reading. So we're going to be doing this reading for you if you chose Hawk and the Tarot in Wonderland. We'll just get messages about your career. Both readings 1 and 2 have been very different and very interesting. So I'm curious to see what this one's going to be about. As I said in the introduction, I didn't want to put a specific question in because I didn't want to kind of alienate people. I just want to see what's coming through about your career. And again, as I said in the introduction, I apologize for my voice, or if I'm coughing, sneezing, sniffing, etc. throughout the reading. I am ill with a bad cold. I do also feel quite unwell, so that's why there's a shift in the lighting. I've had to take quite a long break in between filming this pile and pile 2. So that's why the lighting has changed. And I'm sorry, because I know a lot of you watch my videos because you find my voice quite relaxing, and that's probably not the case with my voice being really clogged and nasally right now, so I do apologize for that. So let's take a look at the Hawk card in this deck and see what it means for you as a person. As I said in the intro, it's an air elemental card. Where is it? Hawk. So it says, the sharp eyes of the hawk watch our every move. This keen-eyed bird has the ability to see every little detail as well as the bigger picture. When this card appears, fate has its eyes on you and the winds are shifting. It is said that the hawk carries news upon its wings and is sent from divinity itself to deliver it. The message should not be taken lightly. Though it may seem small or insignificant, it will eventually redirect your course. When in balance, this person sees clearly and is intuitive. When out of balance, they see too much and become suspicious. And to bring themselves back into balance, they need to shift their perspective. So that's interesting. That does suggest news is maybe on its way, as well as change. Change is a big theme for group 2. And in a different way for group 1. So curious to see what this is going to be about for you, group 3. Please do subscribe as well if you haven't already. Group 3, that really helps out my channel, and it means that you never miss an upload as well. I've always been really quite regular in my uploading ever since I started the channel over 2 years ago. So we've got the 6 of Cups. We have Strength. And the 2 of Swords. Interesting. So there's Leo's energy here. There's kind of a message here of not knowing which way to turn. Like not just from the 2 of Swords, which obviously usually comes up when we're having a bit of a dilemma, but also in this particular card of Strength, she looks like she isn't sure which way to go within the forest, and she's just kind of got her own personal fortitude to cling to. The 6 of Cups talks about issues from your past coming back, especially issues from your childhood or from previous lifetimes. So again, like usual, pile 3 seems to be my most spiritual pile. Let's see what else is coming through group 3. Snow Angel, the signs are with you already. Number 4, so there is some kind of guidance that's taking you down a particular direction. You're already getting those signs, but you're maybe struggling to trust them. You're not sure if you're then going to get messages about the other option or the other direction. Because the Cheshire Cat is up there on the moon, and obviously the moon is symbolic of the intuition, the signs and symbols that we receive from spirit. And the Cheshire Cat famously says, you can go this way, you can go that way, you can go both ways. So there is that confusion there about which direction to turn in. So here we've got Many Masks, the Authentic Self, number 38. Yeah, it's almost like a crisis of identity, like you are kind of not sure who you are anymore, if that makes sense. Like maybe you've always done a particular kind of job or always been part of a particular field or career, and now you're looking to change, but you're not really sure why. Interestingly, Hawk Spirit, let Spirit be your guide, has just come through there, number 32, and obviously you picked the Hawk card, so that's incredible, and also again very spiritual. And also from this deck we've got Groundhog Spirit, Time to Let Go, number 31. And it's 32, 31, so like decreasing numbers, which I've seen a lot in readings that I've been doing recently, these sort of backwards patterns of numbers, counting down. So let Spirit be your guide. That's obviously saying you are receiving these symbols or your intuition is strongly guiding you. Time to let go suggests either moving on from maybe a job that you're in right now or a place of work, or moving on from an idea that you had. It might be that you had a particular plan for your trajectory career-wise, like what promotions you were going to go for and in what timeline, and now you're changing your mind as to where your future lies. Doesn't mean that you're necessarily changing your whole career path, but just that your future plans have changed. Quiet stillness. Okay, so this need to really listen to what's going on in your head, really listen to your intuition. That's obviously an important message. Feels like if you could drown out the noise of everything else and everyone else, like their expectations or what other people might advise you to do or think that you should do, and kind of society in general, then you would find it more easy to hear what your intuition is telling you and what you really want, the authentic self, kind of deep down there. So that seems to be something to try and think about or focus on. Okay, so then we have Gnade, number 40, grace. Can also mean mercy or blessing. Number 71, Wollust, lust. And number 37, Unwiderstehlichkeit, irresistibility. Kind of not being able to keep away. So with these two cards especially, there is something about being really drawn to something, or really fantasizing about working in a particular sector or having a particular lifestyle or a particular type of job. And then Gnade is kind of saying, you know, look at the blessings that you already do have, what you already have been graced with. So it could be, for example, that you are working in a particular job and you've always thought, right, if I really push myself and get promoted several times within this time period, then I could be earning this much and that would give me this lifestyle. But it feels like you are now sort of thinking, actually, I'm happy with the lifestyle I already have, or I don't want to put myself through all of that grueling hard work and kind of blowing my own trumpet to get to that point when I'm actually kind of happy with the job I've got or the level of lifestyle that I have. It could be that you want to work in a particular job and then you're thinking, do you know what? Do I? Or do I just enjoy the fantasy of working in that kind of job? Like, you know, with the lust card here, it's often only based on the surface, the sort of appearance of something. And when we think about lust, it's because we're attracted to someone often without really knowing them very well. We're attracted to someone because of their physical appearance. So that those feelings of lust can very quickly disappear when we learn more about that person's personality or more about that person's past or their treatment of others or their lifestyle. And I think that's what this card is also getting at, that you feel so drawn to something, but you maybe are only looking at the sort of surface issue. And there's actually so much that you're already blessed with. So here we've got, what's this? Leuchtende Stern, number 84, shining star. Okay, and then benutzt werden, number 5, being used. Yeah, so this again is sort of pointing towards you having something special to share, but also kind of cautioning you against, like, I want to say again, like blowing your own trumpet. Like, it feels like that doesn't come naturally to you. Like, you're someone who is just happy getting on with things and doesn't feel the need to overly kind of advertise yourself in the way that you often need to when you're trying to impress career-wise, or when you're trying to go for promotion like that. It's almost uncomfortable for you, and you don't want to feel like you're screwing other people over, or like you're going to be moving on to a job that's carries more responsibility, and then that leaves you feeling like you're just being drained. And yeah, that just doesn't really sit right with you, is what I'm saying. Like, you just don't want to put yourself in that position. So there is definitely something you've been toying with, or toying with the idea of, that you're being encouraged to gently let go of, because it's just the idea of it that you like and not the reality of it. We've got Knum, tools, number 26, your inner masculine coming up as Knum, which has the ability to create. The Knum card shows that you have a lot of talent or a lot of resources at your disposal, a lot that you can already work with, that you already have. Like, I kind of get the feeling that you're maybe a little bit bored with your work or feeling a little bit unfulfilled, but there's a lot that you can do about this, which is in huge contrast to another reading that I did today that showed, you know, someone really not feeling happy in their job and they needed to leave. Like, this is very different. It's like you've been toying with an idea, but the reality of that idea would not actually fulfill you or serve you in the way that you think it would. So your inner feminine is then coming through as Aphrodite inner goddess, awaken the goddess within you through dance, self-care, and appreciating your divinity. I think it was group 2 also got that card. So that's showing that you have a lot to share. Aphrodite is also known as Venus. So this could be a call to check out Venus in your birth chart to see what sign and house she is in, what aspects she is forming, if there's any transits over your Venus right now, what that means for you. Wandering path, enjoy the journey. Yeah, like the vibe that I'm getting is that you've had strong ambitions or a firm plan as to how your career should unfold. Like you're thinking, I want to be here in 3 years, or I want to be there in 6 months, or I want this to happen within this time frame, and then I want to move on to that. And it just kind of feels like, no, that's not what's meant for you. You're meant to experience something different. Like you're not meant to kind of, it's not so much sell your soul or go down the corporate path. It's more just like you're not meant to push yourself that hard. And that doesn't mean that you're not meant to be challenged, but just that by taking on more and more responsibility, you would almost be doing yourself and the people that you work for, or the kind of work that you do, a disservice, because you would not be able to give of yourself in the same way, because you would feel so much more drained, more depleted. Yeah, the devil, number 15. Just this symbol of being tempted down the wrong path. And it might seem like a really innocuous thing that you're being tempted by, like, you know, starting a side business, or just going for that promotion, or, you know, applying for a different job. Nothing that seems massively controversial or anything like that. I just feel like your spiritual team are really cautioning you that this isn't the best opportunity for you, and that you've maybe already been feeling that within yourself, with this message of the signs are with you already. Like you've already been deep down thinking, do I really want to do this, or is this not going to take an awful lot out of me? The ancestors say treat your body well, exercise, meditate, massage. So there's definitely this message of don't overdo it for yourself. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to regularly feel drained, depleted, anxious, irritable, because then the level of your work will be decreased, and it could have this knock-on effect for your health as well. Then we've got, oh, wow, number 26, where you need to be. Acknowledge how you are feeling. Have faith the universe will take care of a current concern by providing the best possible outcome for all involved. Isn't that a perfect card for what we've been saying? So you are where you need to be, group 3. It might not feel that, but I think that the feelings of dissatisfaction or boredom that you're having right now are transient. They will move on with time. You're not always going to feel this way. There's also seemingly a lot you can do to give yourself more of a challenge in your work without actually taking on too much more responsibility, or, you know, massively increasing your hours or something. But acknowledge the feelings that you're feeling, because they're coming to you to tell you something, to tell you I'm bored, or I could do more, or I want to expand. But whatever it is that you're currently thinking about is not the right path for you to explore that. Experimentirui, the 11 of crosses, experiment. And that's the imperative form of the verb. So it's like saying, experiment with something, try something new, try a few things. It feels like giving yourself some more challenges or some more interesting things to do within your own job, making new suggestions, rather than starting something completely new or trying to sort of move on to the next phase. Hot cinnamon, impulse, action, movement. Peach rings, repeating patterns, karma. Interesting. Kind of feels like making a decision on a whim would leave you feeling like you've just kind of, what's that saying, out of the frying pan into the fire, where it's like I've changed the situation, but it's not actually gotten any better. It's the same level of stress, or it's the same problems that are facing me, they're just in a different location, or it's just manifesting in a different form. Die Earth-Elementals say, wirf unnötigen Ballast über Bord. Hochfliegen kannst du nur mit leichtem Gepäck. And I love this card because of the hot air balloon on it. And those of you that have been on my channel a while know that I really love hot air balloons, or just balloons in general. They make me feel really free and happy and excited, and I can't really explain why. So that card says, throw unnecessary ballast overboard. You can only fly high with light baggage. And that again seems to fit this message of, please don't take on any more responsibility, or please don't push yourself to go into a more serious, cutthroat, high stakes role, because you just don't need to. You can get that challenge or that stretch that you're looking for elsewhere. You can get that level of stimulation within your current job. Yeah, first quarter moon in Leo, be humble. Okay, so stick to where you are, but think of how you can adapt that into an interesting way for you. And there's that Leo energy again, because we've got the strength card. So that's really, really interesting, group 3. We're going to move on to your charms, and then also to your dice as well, to get you your extra messages. So we'll do your charms first. Okay, so we have got angel wings here, which is really nice to see. That means that you are surrounded by angels right now who are helping you. I can also see that we've got the hairdryer, and that symbolizes that phrase, blowing hot and cold. Like there is some uncertainty about what you really want to do, some doubts that you're having. We've got the ink bottle, faith, inspiration, creativity. Yeah, like sort of new ideas, or wanting to do something that's more creative, more independent, more challenging. We have a love heart here, which is about sort of following your heart. The lobster claw, not wanting to let go of something, holding on really tightly to a situation or to an idea. Faith and trust, confidence in yourself there. Putting something on a pedestal, that's really a big thing. Like this is the message that's been repeated throughout your reading, is that you've been really drawn to something, but you're only seeing the kind of superficial aspect of it, and really it's not going to solve your problems by following it. We've got the car, which is about fast progress. The hummingbird, love is in the air, and there is something here to do with love. Like obviously we got the lust message and the kind of irresistibility, like being really drawn towards something, and then we've got the love heart, we've got the hummingbird, and we've got this pair of lips, which I just always use to mean like wanting to kiss someone, or you know, like really be intimate with someone. So there is something here where maybe you are following the advice of someone that you are interested in, or like you, I don't know, I'm not really sure what this is, but maybe, for example, someone you're interested in has gone into a particular field and you're thinking, I want to join them in that field. This might only be a message for a few of you. For some of you, it is literally just about feeling drawn towards something, like it's consumed you in the way that lust can consume us temporarily. And in that case, it's just a reminder that, you know, this too shall pass. Don't act on impulse. Yeah, in the same way that you wouldn't act on impulse with someone that you are interested in. If, for example, you're already in a relationship, don't chop and change jobs when you're already in one if it's an impulse, if you know what I mean. And then your final charms are 2 keys. It's nice that you've got 2 keys because that tells you this situation will resolve itself and that new opportunities are on their way to you, or new ideas will soon come through. You won't feel stagnant for much longer. We'll do your dice as well. Okay, we're rolling the 6th set of dice. Those are the Voyager's dice. So there's definitely something here about wanting to get away, wanting to have an adventure, but, you know, that may be being impulsive. Okay, and we're rolling 6 of these dice for you. So 2 6s you got there. Yeah, okay, so we've got the feeling tired, feeling burnt out, and that's landing on treat your body well. We've got the octopus, which is literally about lots of responsibilities, lots of things that you need to do, but also given the fact that it's landing on hnum, tools, that suggests that you have a lot that you have at your disposal in terms of resources and in terms of talents. We've got the dinosaur here, which suggests something historical for you. It could be that you're thinking, you know, I've always really wanted to do this. Should I give it a try now? And the answer is no. Or maybe you think, because the dinosaur can also be about ancestry, like maybe I should do that thing that my parents always wanted me to do, or follow in so-and-so's footsteps. And the answer is no. Stick with where you are. This is something in your psyche that's causing you to feel this restlessness, but it can be resolved by staying in the current place that you're in. But don't be harsh on yourself for wanting to do this. Like, if you're genuinely sitting here going, if I hadn't watched this video, I would completely have made that decision to change or to move on. Please don't beat yourself up about that. You were guided to this reading for a reason, because your spiritual team wanted to share these messages with you. So don't be harsh with yourself or think, you know, what was I thinking? Or like, you know, can I trust my intuition anymore? Because you have been receiving these messages on some level. You just might not have been aware of them or open to them. And then finally we've got the person who is like commanding something, who's like pointing in a certain direction. And I think with it landing on the cycles card, the peach rings, I think it's just again saying like this would literally be the same situation, just in a different place, or just with a different title. Like, you would still feel put upon by other people, or you would still feel like you were doing stuff for others, or, you know, always living to fulfill the demands of others. It would just be in a different way or in a different place. So it wouldn't actually solve the underlying issue, which is something you've now got to think creatively about and try and work on. So that is what I'm seeing in your reading group today. It's really, really interesting and quite different from the other readings that I've done. Thank you so much for being here and for trusting me to do this reading for you. Please do let me know in the comments what you thought of this reading, if it resonated with you. I would love to hear from you, and please like, share and subscribe as well if you enjoyed the video, because that really helps me out, and it means that we can get these messages to as many people as possible as well. If you are interested in the work that I do and you'd like to get more involved, check out my description box and the comment that I post below, because they are always full of links. So you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram from there for daily oracle cards. You can go over to Patreon, of course, if you want to learn more about astrology and get access to exclusive content and all other wonderful benefits. Then definitely check that out and consider becoming a patron. You can head over to my Etsy page to book a private reading or healing session with me. If you're feeling very generous and would like to donate to the channel, that is extremely kind of you. I have 2 wish lists linked below for new tarot and oracle decks, and I also have a PayPal link for people who want to leave a tip or a small donation to support the work that I do. Anything is really gratefully appreciated, and I want to say thank you to everyone who has done that, and to all of my patrons and people who've considered donating or becoming a patron. It really does mean a lot to me. And we do still have a discount running with Modern Day Manifestations, so if you'd like to get 10% off beautiful handmade crystal jewellery, then head over to their website. The link is below, and use that link to validate the discount code. Then once you've put your lovely jewellery in your basket, you can use the discount code VIOLET at checkout, and you'll get 10% off and free international shipping. So thank you so much to them for giving us that discount and offer. And thank you so much again to you for being here, Group 3. Have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you for sticking with me until the end, and take care of yourself. And I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.